Stand by, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for tuning in to EHC-TV, the first episode of the new decade. I'm David Eldridge.
And I'm Cam Durr. With the Super Bowl Sunday concluding last week, your spring semester might be off to a great start, but I think the whole campus can agree another 4-day week would have been really great.
Regardless, here at EHC-TV, we've been working around the clock to revamp our studio space. We're now recording in a new, renovated location with a whole new set, compliments of the E&A's theater department, and on the way, as well as a dedicated production and on-air crew full of new talent and some familiar faces.
So David, how's your semester going so far?
It's going pretty well so far. I'm really excited to get involved here at EHC-TV.
Yeah.
I know you're not foreign to being on camera.
No, it's, but I'm still kind of new, learning some new things still.
I'm about to say, in the new location, and hopefully with all this fancy equipment, y'all looking at us in 20/20 vision. So that was pretty corny. Not bad there.
Who you got on set today?
Oh, well, I have Earl Settle, the refounding father of the Calliopean Society. I'm really excited to talk to him. There's a lot of interesting history involving that literary society, as you all might know about the Calliopean Room here on campus. And talking to him, I think we're going to explore some pretty interesting topics, maybe even sword fights. You'll have to wait to find out. How about yourself?
I have swimmer Olivia Anson on set with me today. They got ODAX coming up this weekend. Pretty excited to see how they're going to perform there. She's been performing really well in the pool, so we'll see what she's got to say.
Best of luck to her with that.
On that note, let's toss it over to Candace Baylor with our news update for the week.
The Emory-Henry College Athletic Department honored retiring faculty member and former coach Joy Scruggs this past weekend. Scruggs is a legendary coach that led the Wasps to 22 ODAC tournament wins and 5 appearances in the ODAC championship game. The special ceremony was held during the women's basketball game, where a banner honoring Scruggs as Coach Emerito was unveiled. She said, "The best part was looking at all the former and current players who had gathered and were also standing on the court." Before the start of Saturday's game, over 80 former players, colleagues, and friends gathered in the Board of Visitors Lounge on the Emory-Henry College campus to pay homage to the impact Scruggs has had on and off this court. Scruggs was selected as ODAC Coach of the Year 3 times in 1984, 2002, and 2003. Since retiring from coaching in 2014, Scruggs continues to teach as a respected faculty member in the Health and Human Performance Department and is widely known for her service in the community, particularly in her work with Avenue Rotary Club and in her church. Coach Scruggs would like to say thank you to everyone that participated in the events and those who were able to attend. You all can find the full story on Go Wasps. Next, we have David with an exciting interview with one of the members of the Calliopean Debate Club.
Thanks, Candace. I'm joined here with Earl Settle. Earl, thanks for finding an opportunity to settle down and talk to me. I know you've been real busy this semester with a whole slew of organizations. The most prominent one I wanted to talk to you about was the Calliopean Society, that I know you've had a really huge hand in refounding this year. Could you just, for our viewers, explain a little bit what this literary society is?
Yeah, so the Calliopean Society was a literary and debate society founded in 1840. It died out in the 1960s, and I'm currently leading a revitalization effort to get it back up again.
That's awesome. And with that whole revitalization and learning about it, if you want to briefly detail just some of the research you had to go through and your process for learning about it.
Yeah, sure. So the library has extensive records, old, large leatherback tomes that the cursive was a little hard to read at first, but I got used to it. Yeah, a lot of research done over the summer. Pretty much half my summer I spent doing that. Got a team together of people I thought that would enjoy it. And yeah, that's pretty much how it got started.
That's awesome. So are all these like texts handwritten
Yes.
by old members of the Calliopean Society from its founding? And you said 1840?
Yeah, I believe I have records from 1865 all the way to the 1960s.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So in reading through some of those personal memoirs, is there any like really exciting things that you picked out?
Yeah, no. So within the covers of the books, I really enjoyed seeing personal notes from old presidents, old secretaries, old critics. They often signed their Greek letters if they were part of a Greek organization. So it's like sort of like a living history.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And now I've heard a little talk, historically, the Calliope Society, when it was a lot bigger before, I believe. I know Greek life has had some effect in its decline, at least in the past. When it was such a huge fraternal thing on campus, that there were often pretty heated debates between Hermesian and Calliopean members.
Yes.
Is there anything you read about?
Yeah, the doors to both halls sort of open up into the same hallway. There are several records of fights breaking out between the two societies, and even one instance of a recorded duel with cavalry sabers. But
That's what people want to
yeah,
hear.
mostly they handled their disagreements with words.
Makes sense. So how, when this revitalization, how true to the historical aspect are you keeping it? Because I know when it was originally founded, it was an all-male school, and you've made this co-ed and modernized it to an extent. What have you kept from historical records, and what have you decided needed to be changed to increase longevity?
Well, yeah, obviously the co-ed aspect of that. We keep sort of a similar program. We have, a presiding officer. We run our meetings according to parliamentary procedure, Robert's rules. We still have extemporaneous speakers, orations, debates. We switch up the debate style, so it's not as true, but modern problems require modern solutions.
That makes sense. So who all has helped you along with this process, and as well as some of the, you recently took a new cohort of the first class since 63 years, I think was the...
80.
80,
like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are 7 refounding members. We took a fall cohort, is what we're calling it, of 10. We're hoping to double our growth again this spring. People have helped me along the way, the library staff, and our advisor for the organization, Assistant Dean Josh Von Castle.
That's awesome. Now I know historically when the Calliope and Hermesian Society were founded, was this before Greek life was truly a thing on campus?
Yeah, so part of the reason the first iteration of Greek life, the national fraternities on campus, got shut down was that the faculty was afraid they were taking membership away from the literary societies, which ended up being a moot point when they died out. But yeah.
So are you, I suppose, the skills of the Calliope and Hermesian Society, all that debate, is that something transferable to today, given that the popularity of them has, of course, shifted more towards Greek life and other?
Absolutely. I would say that it used to be a big fraternal aspect on campus. That just left the public speaking aspect. And, in this day and age with computers, speaking face-to-face with people isn't necessarily something that is as, needed, really. Yeah, but there is a large polarization in this country, politically, socially, and talking to people and having civil discourse was one of the chief motivations for me refounding this organization. I want to encourage that on this campus and to prepare our students to be citizens.
Well, that's awesome, and I think civil discourse is very important. Hopefully no sword fights break out in the hallway. Well, Earl, I appreciate you meeting with me. Is there any closing remarks you'd like to make about the Calliope Society for people who might be interested to learn more? Or
Yes, you can contact me if you'd like any further information. We will be having a public interest meeting in the Calliopean Hall here in Byers on February 10th. Hope to see you there, Dave.
We'll see. All right, Earl, I appreciate you. And now we're going to toss it over to Luke with the sports update.
Hello, I'm Luke Montalbano, and this is this week's sports update. It was a busy week for the Wasps, so let's start on the hardwood. The women's basketball team hosted Randolph-Macon College on Saturday on Alumni Appreciation Day. On defense, Sydney McKinney gets the steal, and she's going to lead the fast break, take it all the way to the other end of the floor, and find Elizabeth Jones for the and one. This was part of a 10-0 run by Emery and Henry. Randolph-Macon in the timeout, very upset about that. And on the next play, former ODAC Player of the Year and All-American Kelly Williams gets a jump shot to drop. Kelly Williams had 17 points and 14 rebounds on the contest. And then Callie Hatterer then finds Kara Stafford open for an easy layup. Stafford led all scorers with 24 points on the contest. And then Sydney McKinney takes the ball coast to coast, and she will go in for the layup and get 2 points. McKinney is currently 4th in the conference in scoring, averaging 15 points a contest. And then junior point guard Kylie Cooper finds Kara Stafford down low, and she will score 2 more points. The Wasps win the contest 72-67. The Wasps are currently 10-2 in the ODAC and sit in a 3-way tie for first place. The men's team was on the road on Saturday, and they also faced Randolph-Macon, who's 3rd nationally ranked in the country. Colin Molden led the game with 21 points, while Anthony Williams added 13. The Wasps committed 27 turnovers and a 79-54 loss to the Yellow Jackets. Josh Talbert led the way off the bench with 16 points. Coming up this weekend is the ODAC swimming championships for the men's and women's swimming team. The men's team will feature 2 seniors in Jared Baracio and Nick Barr. And on the women's side, they'll feature 2 seniors in Lauren Trotter and Olivia Anson. Anson will be on the set later on to join Cam Durr in this week's sports interview. And the men's team had 5 wins on the regular season, while the women's had 6. And the Wasps will feature 2 members of last year's All-ODAC team, and Olivia Anton and Kat Swigert. Last year, the men's team finished in 6th place in the ODACs, while the women's team finished in 5th. This year, the men are picked to finish 7th, and the women are picked to finish 5th. The first race is set for Thursday, February 6th at 6 p.m., while the final race is going to be set for Sunday, February 9th. And the winner will get an automatic bid in the NCAA tournament, which will be in Greensboro, North Carolina on March 18th. That will do it for this week's sports update. I'm Luke Montalbano. Let's now throw it over to Cam Durr for this week's sports interview.
Hi, I'm Cam with this week's sports interview. I have with me senior swim team captain Olivia Anson. Olivia, thanks for being here today.
Of course. Excited to be here.
So talk to me a little bit about how you got into swimming, how long you've been swimming.
So I've been swimming for about 16 years now. I started when I was 4 years old. My family moved to a neighborhood and they had a neighborhood swim team, and I was so excited to do it. My mom was like, no, I don't think we should hold off, but I was like, no, threw me in there, and I've loved it ever since. I've been doing it for a long time now.
And it's proven that you've been very good in the pool. You've topped a lot of the leaderboards for the freestyle, any of the freestyles really. So talk to me a little bit about what some of your goals were that you set for yourself this season.
So this season, I set a little bit of a different goal than my previous seasons, which was actually more to have fun. And that sounds really cliche, but in past seasons, I've set like really high expectations for myself. And sometimes that can be self-sabotaging, or like when I don't meet them, I get upset, and it kind of makes me not perform how I want to. But this year being my senior season, I just really wanted to have fun and do my best and not worry about expectations, and trying to live up to that. So.
And have you had fun thus far this season?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. So many new people that joined the team this year that I've met, and I've really enjoyed them, so it's been a really good time.
So you guys, you were named ODAC Swimmer of the Week last week. Talk to me a little bit about how that felt and how what that means to you for your senior season.
Yeah, it meant a lot because I didn't really expect it. I tried to work my hardest while having fun, like I said, but it was really awesome because I didn't expect it at all. And my coach just put in the group me one day, like, Liv, you finally did it. And I was like, it felt really good, especially senior season. So it was really special.
And you guys, obviously have ODACs coming up this weekend. What are some of the goals that the team has set and some individual goals that you've set for yourself for this weekend?
The team has definitely set some goals regarding personal records. Everyone wants to kind of get a personal best time. For the team, the girls are I'm hoping we can get like 4th, hopefully this year. I think last year we got 5th, so it would be really cool to beat Bridgewater this year and get 4th. And the men's have been working really hard. I hope they do really well. We've been we've been trying our best. We've been working really hard just to get some personal records and move up on the scale of the ODAC. So yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of the rival teams that you're going to be facing in ODACs this weekend.
The big two are Washington and Lee and Randolph-Macon. They have huge numbers, which is really important in swimming. The more people you have, the more opportunities to get points. So when you have those big teams, it's really beneficial to win and get those points. And us being a little bit smaller, we've grown a lot, but we are significantly smaller than some of those teams, and they're going to be big competitors just because of their numbers. And they are really good. They have they're good at what they do, so it's going to be rough. But
what are some of the events that you guys are going to really, really do well in and just be like at the top, and like some things that you do perform the best in?
That really depends like individually, because we're all really good at different things. Like I'm a freestyler, some of our teammates are really good at breaststroke, so whatever we perform best in is what we train for all year, and that is obviously hopefully going to be where we do our best and where we're going to get our most points. So yeah.
So last round, how excited are you for?
I'm excited. I'm very nervous because I want to go out with a bang, but I'm really excited. It's been a really fun journey for me, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll tune in and see how you guys fare.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
That's all for this week's sports interview. I'm Cam Durr.
First show down. How do you feel about it, Cam?
I'm very excited. I can't wait to see what the rest of the semester has in store for us.
For sure. Really exciting about ODACs for the swim team.
Yeah.
Across for them.
I had no idea that the Collopian Society had been around for so long.
Yeah,
That
and
was amazing.
restarted. A lot of exciting stuff happening.
But more exciting is we have a new set, a new space and everything. It's a little bit confined and it's not fully put together right now. But
in the next couple weeks, hopefully we'll get it painted and all put together, and you all need to stay tuned to see that. Well,
that's it for this week's show. I'm Cam Durr.
I'm David Eldridge, and thank you all for tuning in.